Hello, everybody. Welcome into Player Profiler today for Wednesday, April 24th. I'm Grindberg, Senior Analyst for the Player Profiler News Desk, and I'm here every Wednesday bringing you the news for Player Profiler today. I am pumped to be here every Wednesday as your host for this pod. So let's get this show going with our first top story. So, what are the New England Patriots doing at number 3? The Patriots general manager, Elliott Wolf, was ultimately have the final say with what the Patriots will do with their number 3 pick in tomorrow's NFL draft. But President Jonathan Kraft, the son of owner Robert Kraft, has reportedly been playing a key role and will decide whether or not New England trades the first overall pick. The Athletic's Diana Russini on Monday reported that the Patriots are listening to trade offers for their third overall selection. This is the first draft in a very long time that the Patriots will be without former head coach Bill Belichick, who parted ways with the franchise after 24 years with the club. The Patriots enter this draft with several needs after they fell short last year of expectations with a 4-13 season. At the top of their needs is the quarterback position after Mac Jones was sent over to the Jacksonville Jaguars earlier this year, and the Patriots will enter 2024 with Jacoby Brissett and Bailey Zappi at the top of their depth charts. So, looking like them in need of that quarterback. We'll see what happens. Adam Schefter reported that the Patriots, with their number 3 pick, has been fielding calls, and it will take a big offer for the Patriots to move off that spot, knowing that they need a quarterback. But the team has been listening, and the Vikings are among the top go-getters for that pick, and we will see what happens. The Vikings could get as high as number 3, and they are looking at Drake May. If they were to get that position, you would think, they have some ties there. The Vikings, Josh McCown was a former high school coach of Drake May, so there is some ties there. It's a wait-and-see situation. The Patriots could look at that situation very, very closely. It has been rumored that Robert Kraft, one way or another, would like to see a top-rate young quarterback with the Patriots this season. So with that influence, I'm leaning towards more of them keeping that pick at the number 3 spot. They could pursue a quarterback, which Drake May would be the front runner, but they could also trade back and get a guy like JJ McCarthy. That could also be a situation that the Patriots are looking to entertain. That factor, though, is why the Patriots feel comfortable at sticking at number 3. We will see. The Patriots had a 4-13 record, like I mentioned, and they have a bunch of draft picks headed into this draft tomorrow. The number 1 round, they have 3 overall pick, and they also have the 34th overall pick in round 2, which is a nice one. If the Patriots opt to trade out, number 3, they will have a slew of picks, but we will see. The draft is top heavy with talent, but I think first round grades end around the 20 marker. So I don't think they're going to be doing much for themselves. So I think the right call for the Patriots is going to be sticking with the quarterback, but we shall see about that. Is a lot of rumors and speculation going to be rested tomorrow. So I can't wait to see what happens there. We've got a little new promotion here going on at Player Profiler, and that is our rookie guide, and it was released last week, and it is a really important piece of information, and we're going to have the Podfather come on and talk a little bit about what the rookie guide is.
It is NFL draft season, and the wait is over. The Player Profiler rookie guide is available. It's live on the site now, right there in the nav bar. Click on the 2024 rookie guide to download it. It's so comprehensive. We're ranking and writing up more players than anybody, and this year we're providing athleticism scores. We're doubling the number of advanced stats on each player profile. And guess who's back? Cody Carpentier. But it's not just him. It's Theo. It's Matty Kiwoom. It's John Lobb. And the undroppables. all coming together to provide their composite rankings. And this year we're adding Superflex Tight End Premium because that's now become such a popular format. So get those composite ranks, get the write-ups, the comps, the stats and metrics you want. If you already have Dynasty Lux, you already have it. But if you don't, it's right there in the nav bar on playerprofiler.com. It's $20. It's not the first. It's not the most expensive, but it is the best.
Absolutely. Now, that is a key piece of information that you're going to need. If you've gotten it already, you know what's going to happen. You've got a lot of information in that rookie guide, from write-ups to every situation. All these offensive players are in there, and it's some top tier analysts that have provided information for that. So go on and get that rookie guide. And now let's get on with some more of our headlines. All right, so tomorrow is the NFL draft, and Player Profiler will be there. NFL live draft coverage from Player Profile will be live in Detroit, covering all 3 days of the NFL draft, with appearances from some of the familiar analysts from Player Profile, the Podfather himself, Theo Grimminger, Alex Dunlap, Josh Larkey, Memphis Young, Cody Carpentier, and Matty Kiwoom are all going to be there, streaming live from the draft house. But also Player Profiler will have boots to the ground at the NFL draft. Our very own Jason Alwine, director of social media and trade gods and Wake and Take host, will be there. Also, Anand Nanduri, the salary cap and contract analyst, will also be boots to the ground. Seth Dywald, our head editor and YouTube manager, and none other than Bradley Stalder, our news desk director and fearless leader on the news desk, will be there. They will have media credentials and be behind the scenes to access player interviews. Incredible stuff here by Player Profiler, and you're going to see so much content coming out in the next 3 days. So be sure to be following us on socials, on YouTube, on X, on TikTok, but also on our website, because we at the news desk are going to be keeping up to date with every news that is breaking. Every single pick will be covered over the first couple rounds of the draft. So please stay tuned to Player Profiler for everything you need for the draft and your fantasy needs. Now back to the news here, and we got a big movement today. The Detroit Lions have made a couple big splashes, and the first one was wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown. They agreed to a 4-year, $120 million extension with $77 million in guaranteed money. The deal makes him the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. The California native was selected in the 4th round by the Lions in the 2021 draft. And if you think about it, he was 112th overall. I'm going to rattle off a bunch of wide receivers that were taken prior to Amon-Ra in that draft. Jamar Chase, yeah, you can see that happening now. Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith, and then the rest. Kadarius Toney, Rashad Bateman, Elijah Moore, Rondell Moore, Dwayne Eskridge, Tutu Atwell, Terrence Marshall Jr., Josh Palmer, De'Ami Brown, Amari Rogers, Nico Collins, Anthony Schwartz, Des Fitzpatrick, and finally in came Amon-Ra St. Brown in the steal of that draft by far. The 24-year-old is coming off an all-pro year where he caught 119 passes for 1,515 yards and 10 touchdowns in his 3rd season with Detroit. He was a Pro Bowler, and he has 315 catches for 3,500 yards and 21 touchdowns in his 3-year NFL career. Simply incredible stuff from the 112th overall pick in the 2021 draft. The Sun God was the wide receiver 1.5 PPR leagues 10 times throughout the 2023 season, and he is just impressive in that slot. St. Brown is as safe as anybody you can pick in the dynasty world. He is my wide receiver 3 in dynasty, even before this news, and he will stay there. Sky is the limit for the Sun God, especially now after the Lions also made another big splash, and they agreed to terms on a 4-year, $112 million extension that includes $85 million in guaranteed money for Penei Sewell. So he is under contract now through 2029. Sewell has only allowed 3 sacks in the past 2 seasons with the Lions. That is a monster stat. He has also earned back-to-back Pro Bowl honors and was named the 2023 first team All-Pro. What a important piece of the puzzle that is staying there. He's going to be able to keep Jared Goff upright, to be able to find Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, you name it. That offense is set now for a very long time, and I'm excited to see what the Lions can do in the future here. All eyes are on Detroit over the next couple days, and it all started a day early with the Lions making a monster splash and extending some of these key pieces to their offense. Speaking of key pieces, let's talk extensions. And that happened this week to a couple of, actually 3 main pieces of the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl winning dynasty, if you will. The Chiefs have gotten extensions made for Andy Reid, GM Brett Veach, and President Mark Donovan. They're keeping the band together and hoping to make a long haul of Super Bowl runs here. So the Chiefs announced the extensions, on Monday evening. Reid's new deal is through 2029 and makes him the highest paid coach in the NFL. Good for him. While Veach has also been extended through 2029. Together, they've been since 2017, and the trio has helped shape the Chiefs' 3-time Super Bowl winning dynasty during that span. Reid is the all-time leader in wins for the Philadelphia Eagles and also the Kansas City Chiefs. So under Reid, the Chiefs have a winning season every year and have just missed the playoffs once since becoming the all-time leader in wins. He's headed into 2024 with a 128-51 record with the franchise. This dynasty's front office just ensured the biggest key pieces of this franchise aren't going anywhere for the foreseeable future. The Chiefs are now set for years with the combination of Patrick Mahomes, Chris Jones, who just signed that historical deal this offseason, Veach, and now Donovan. The pillars of success for this Chiefs dynasty is staying with them. Great news, Chiefs Kingdom. Let's go. Loving to hear that for my team. And loving to hear some other shaky waters here in a competitor of my Chiefs, and that is the Cincinnati Bengals, who have some turmoil that has just come to surface over the last 24 hours. And they have a 3-time Pro Bowl defensive end, Trey Hendrickson, requesting a trade. He's due to make $15 million this season, is looking for a more long-term deal with the Bengals. So we will see what happens there. But also, T. Higgins has requested a trade once again, and because there have been no contract talk so far this offseason for him and getting that extension, he did get franchise tagged. So we will see what's going to happen in that T. Higgins situation. Let's see if they end up moving off of T. Higgins. A lot of movement's going to happen in the wide receiver rooms in this draft. So T. Higgins is another one to keep your eye on now. Longtime Falcons quarterback Matt Ryan officially retires from the NFL after playing 15 seasons. So he played his last professional football game in December 2022. He officially called it a career. In 2024, he announced his retirement from the NFL after 15 years. He left a heartfelt video towards the Falcons organization. He had his best season in 2016 under Kyle Shanahan. I'm sure we all remember that Super Bowl run very well, where they were storming the NFC. They had a great season, and they steamrolled the playoffs through the Packers and the Seahawks, only to fall short after leading the Patriots 28-3 at halftime. no mistaking, Ryan has proved himself to be more than just a one and done kind of quarterback. He retires with 63,000 almost passing yards and 381 touchdowns. What a career for the 15 seasons he had in the league. He made the Pro Bowl 4 times and was an All-Pro once. He still owns both the 2016 MVP and Offensive Player Awards. So good for you, Matt Ryan. I hope you all the best in your retirement. The Jets have traded Zach Williams to the Broncos in exchange for a late round pick swap. Lisa Wilson expressed her excitement on social media after her son Zach was traded to the Denver Broncos on Monday. Her Instagram post was excited for a fresh new start. Let's go. After hearing the news of her son getting traded, the Jets are trading their former first round pick to the Broncos in exchange for a 2024 late round pick swap. The New York Jets receive a 6th round pick, while the Denver Broncos will receive a 7th round in return, along with Zach Wilson. In 2024, he started 11 games with the Jets, passing for 2,271 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions, and completed just 60% of his passes. He has now joined the Broncos QB room that consists of Jarrett Stidham and Ben DiNucci. The Broncos could and should still be looking to add to their franchise quarterback this draft. However, adding Wilson adds them a little bit of time and maybe a chance to take on a former first round pick. So that is some information there that came about this week in the news. We got the draft coming in tomorrow. So there's some draft scenarios that we're going to kind of dig a little bit deeper into, because it's going to kind of be at the forefront of the news tomorrow. And Schefter was on ESPN, and he wrote an article kind of outlining some of the situations we should be looking for. And one of them was Arizona Cardinals. They, as advertised, that number 4 pick as well. And Schefter has said that they are open for business, but is not expected to make a move until the Cardinals are on the clock. I think they really want to see what the Patriots do with that move. Last year, Austin Fort was on the clock. He was making those moves late. He told teams around the league that have inquired about trading up for the pick, he wants to wait until the last minute and the last position to make a pick before agreeing to any of those trades. So a team could be willing to outbid the market and lock up the selection now, but it doesn't look like it's happening the day before the draft here. I can see that being a on the clock kind of trade. So while the football world wants, to see the Giants and the Vikings and the Broncos or even the Raiders trade up, I just don't think it's going to happen until the draft. I love seeing Marvin Harrison talk going to the Cardinals. I still think that is a very, very likely situation to happen. I think they are exhausting all their options, but at the end of the day, if you can get a wide receiver that has longevity, someone that has got the pedigree, and someone that'll fit really good in that offense with Kyler Murray, I just don't see it happening that the Cardinals are going to want to trade off of that pick and get and see Marvin Harrison Jr. Slip through their fingers. So that would be my take on the situation. And then we talked about this a little bit last week as the headline in our last show with the Commanders. They held 3 of those quarterbacks last week to some to some visits, and the betting odds still has Jaden Daniels as that pick. And, unless something drastically happens with the Bears at 1, I don't see anything other than Jaden Daniels being a Commander. He has been highly impressive. His 2023 season was just incredible. He's shown he can be a dual threat. He threw for 3,800 yards and 40 freaking touchdowns last year and ran for over 1,100 yards and 10 scores. So I don't know what the Commanders would be thinking other than let's get that guy in our lineup. He would fit perfectly in a Cliff Kingsbury offense, so he had one of the most remarkable statistical seasons in college football history. So it just looks like all things considered, that Jaden Daniels will be a Washington Commander for the draft here. So I'm looking forward to seeing that pan out. You know, he will become just the fourth LSU quarterback to be selected in the first round after Joe Burrow and Jamarcus Russell. So that is some good company. Looking forward to seeing how that shakes out. The Bears should be a shoe-in to get that Caleb Williams. There's no doubt that that 101 selection in NFL draft is all spotlighted around Caleb Williams. He is one of the most foolproof prospects we've seen at the position in a really long time. He may not be the same dual threat that Jaden Daniels is, but his athleticism, his rushing production is still going to take him to another level. He will be in a position to succeed really early, in my opinion, if he's drafted by the Bears. Keenan Allen is now a Bear. He'll have DJ Moore, Cole Kmet coming off a great season. You know, they've added DeAndre Swift in the backfield with the 1-2 punch with Roschon Johnson. So I don't think there's been a rookie that will be put into any better of a situation, a much better situation than CJ Stroud was in last year. And look what he did with that offense. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm saying that they also have the number 8 pick, and they could also draft another top tier pass catcher. And there is rumors that Malik Neighbors, Rome Odunze, or Brock Bowers could land with the Bears. So very, very interesting. I love to see what happens in that offense. What we know for sure is that there's going to be a lot of movement in draft boards after we know the first 15 picks of this draft and how that will shake out. Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers, another situation to monitor at 5. I'm hearing things from all over the league saying that they're going to pick a wide receiver. Some say they're going to pick an offensive lineman. Some people say they're going to be trading out of that situation. The most likely pick is that, McCarthy will wind up at number 4 with the Cardinals potentially, and it could mean that or Marvin Harrison, like I mentioned, it could mean the door is open. So I think the Chargers are going to stick around, wait a little bit, and see how the first couple picks shake out, because the guy that they may be wanting, they may be able to see them later on in the draft. So depending on what happens there, looking pretty open and up in the air. Marvin Harrison and Malik Neighbors have been rumored to be the wide receivers being chosen for the Chargers if they slip to them. It's a wait and see approach now with the Chargers, but with the new regime there, it's really hard to predict what's going to happen. They shipped out a bunch of wide receivers and Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. Austin Eckler is no longer with the team. They got a brand new head coach, a new offensive coordinator. That scheme is going to be completely different. The team is going to be completely different. So the first indicator on what the new direction is going to be, we'll find out when the Chargers are on the clock at number 5. Now, one more thing we're going to get into here is that the Scott Fish Bowl is back. So if you haven't signed up, be sure to sign up for the premier fantasy football tournament in the industry, bringing, analysts, many celebrities, professional athletes, and hundreds of fans together. It is a charity event. It is a great thing. It's a great mission from Fantasy Cares. They're a great charitable event. So do yourself a favor, sign yourself up if you haven't already. Let's go. Now, starting tomorrow, the Player Profiler will be 3 days of draft coverage, and it starts early. So be sure to follow us on all the socials and make sure you are up to date on all the breaking news. And believe it or not, we will be very busy this weekend, bringing you everything you need to know. Like I mentioned earlier, the news desk will be busy, making sure the website is up to date with all the landing spots, all the implications that will happen with fantasy football after these picks are made. So be sure to check out the website. Be sure to check out both YouTube channels, the Player Profiler main page and then the Player Profiler news page, because there'll be TikToks, there'll be videos, there'll be live streams happening as the draft happens. Like I mentioned, we have boots to the ground. We have some of our big name contributors on the ground making splashes, talking to players. And then, of course, in our draft house, we have the Podfather himself, along with our content director, Theo Grimminger, and a bunch of big name fantasy analysts from Player Profiler, which includes Maddie Kiwoom, Josh Larkey, Memphis Young, Alice Dunlap, and none other than Cody Carpentier. We are stocked, ready to go for the draft. So be sure to follow us. It is going to be an insane 72 hours for Player Profiler in the NFL. So be sure to check us out. We are also currently onboarding for the Player Profiler news desk. So if you're looking for an opportunity to contribute to one of the biggest platforms in the fantasy football industry, be sure to check us out on Twitter and follow the link there and sign up and become one of us. We are looking for like-minded people to deliver top-tier fantasy football analysis. So that'll be it for today. For Player Profiler today. It's been my pleasure to bring you the news today, and moving forward, we'll continue to do so. Like I said, we are going to be busy the next 24 hours. So let's rock it. Make sure to follow us. Let's have a great night. And for everybody from Player Profiler today, have a great night and enjoy the draft.